Be the right club. Be the right club today. Yes!
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about in?
That is better than most. Better than most!
Expect anything different?
We have made it, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up podcast, presented live on the No Laying Up podcast YouTube channel. It is Masters Week, our official Masters preview. It's taken every ounce of effort not to have accidentally previewed the Masters in every episode we've done leading up to this. But Solly here, joined in North Augusta with my guy, Mr. Neil Schuster. Hello, Neil.
Greetings, Solly.
How
Great
was
to be
Berkman's today, buddy?
It was good. Man, it's crazy. It's like a Disney World, but
Wait, you went to Berkman's?
I did for lunch.
Sick.
He's got to take advantage of the membership.
I had to get out of the rain. Yeah, well, good to be here, TC. Good to see you. How are
TC
you?
is here. Hello, Mr. Tron.
I'm
Mister,
great.
I flew down to live yesterday. I don't want to hear it.
Look at you guys.
Private
My
flyer.
C-suite buddies.
I'm great. I had a great BLT for lunch and just I'm feeling like $1,000,000. How about you, Randy?
I'm good. I'm in my new office setup here behind me. Anybody watching on the video channel?
Your lighting looks fantastic back there, Randy. How
I
about
know.
it?
I wish you could see the rest of it because it's more built out than my old one too. So I'm happy to be here. Excited for Masters Week, guys.
It is going to be a great week. We are kicking off a lot of content with a shout out to our friends, of course, at Rhoback. You already know Rhoback's got our favorite polos, hoodies, shorts, pants, you name it. They got the best fit. They got the best feel. It is simple as that. Now that we are in the heart of spring, they are dialing up some of their incredible polo designs. Been spying some of the florals on their site. I wore it yesterday, actually, out on there. You gave me a compliment on that one.
Azalea collection out there.
Not
Saw
something I
you.
normally would have done. They are fantastic. If you're not a floral guy, the Fairway Fusion Polo is fantastic. If you like your classics, they got some great stripe combos going as well. I'll probably rocking a little bit.
Look at this.
Dude, I got
This
a-
is like they should call this the
I love this
Solly.
one.
Different shades of
I
blue
know,
here on the
I love-
hoodie.
this
How about
is-
that?
This is one of the go-tos. Their Delta Looper shorts are back in stock for spring 2. I got the khaki ones on right now. Each time I put them on, I'm amazed at the stretch waistband, the quality of the shorts. They're just fantastic. They're comfortable, perfect for spring golf, perfect for attending the Masters as well. Time to load up on some Rhoback now that it's spring. Code NLU on Rhoback.com. Generous 20% off your first order through the end of this week. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off polos, shorts, and more with code NLU. All right. Typical major championship preview fashion, we are going to do our storyline draft. We're going to go around the circle, list off our top storylines, things that have us intrigued, tickled, sitting on the edge of our seats heading into this week. We're going to talk about some of our brief takeaways from being there in person so far. We got mostly rained out today, but did get to walk around a little bit. We're going to check in on the early odds from our friends at FanDuel. We get to a couple questions. We're going to make some head-to-head picks. We're going to go down the sheet and go on the record. This guy versus this guy. Who do you take in this week? And we're going to track that, of course, throughout the course of the week. Cody's going to sprinkle a little trivia on us. We're going to list off. We're going to go through a few players, and we're going to answer the question, will this player win a Masters in their career? We're also going to go through some previous Masters winners and say, will they win another Masters as we get to that section? And I'm going to take us back to 2015. Hopefully people got a chance to listen to our KVV's narrative podcast last week, talking about some of our favorite Masters. DJ detailed it excellently, but I did a rewatch of this one recently for a Twitter Spaces I did with Shane Bacon last week on the Masters channel, and I just want to go back through it because we were so justified in all of the Spieth fandom, and we still are, and I just want to go through line by line and reemphasize.
It's your guy, Randy. It's your guy.
Love him.
Yeah. And then at the very end, we were saving our picks for Wednesday, the happy hour show, but we did ask our wives for all of their picks, and we got some good content out of that. I think I may say so. That's how we're going to close today's show. But start us off, Neil. What is storyline draft?
Call it. That's a robust agenda.
Come on, we got it.
God,
we got the goods.
I'm good. I've got 3 innings for you. I'm fired up to be here to experience a full week. It's been, I guess, 10 years, TC, since we were here for a practice round. For me, 10 years ago. Working on a special project with KVV. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes. So my storyline is time is a flat circle. Randy, I'm doing it. I'm calling it now. Rory's going to win the Masters.
Oh, my God.
In time is a flat circle because you're shaking your head. I knew this was going to happen. Solly's already talking himself out of it. He's been talking himself into Rory for weeks. And I hear him over at the table before the pod starts like, God, I'm talking myself out of it. He can't make up his mind.
I did a data dive. I was going with the gut and the eye test, and I looked at the data, and now I'm struggling.
Cody, fire up the grill, baby. It might have to be a digital detox block party.
DJ's got to fire up the grill.
I might not be able to host it, but I'm going to be there, Randy. I'm fired up. But I guess my actual storyline, I think it's a big guns Masters. I was doing a little research on some picks, and they've got those big guns versus the field. And it's like Scotty, Rory, Xander. And then I would throw Colin into that kind of big, like, to me, it's like one of those guys, Ludwig. I just feel like it's going to be a big name. We haven't seen all these guys other than the players facing off much this year. And I just think it's going to be kind of a clash of titans.
Stick that neck out. Let's go.
No,
it's a giraffe take.
It's not a giraffe take. I know, but I just feel like
it's like a turtle take. He doesn't even want to stick his neck.
No, it's I just feel like there's a lot of like, who's the alpha in 2025? We just don't know right now. We simply do not know.
No,
because we haven't seen them all face off together. And I just think, Rory's played really, really good golf coming into this thing. And is that a lot of pressure? Yes, but I'm just gonna I think it's gonna be Rory. So that's what I'm feeling.
Question for you. Who maintains ownership of the block party right now? I know you sold it off to private equity, and there might have been a rug pull at one point, and things are not going well this week.
I'm going with the El Prez. Of our friends over at Barstool. So, I sold it to private equity, churning group, and then
bought it back for $1.
And then I got it back for $1 because Solly doesn't want it because he can't make up his mind.
I didn't buy it.
So
you wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, they ran into the ground. And
that's not true. That's not true. You were the owner of it. But I brought this to Neil's attention a couple weeks ago. I found this on Reddit, and I was shocked because it was Solly out there crowdsourcing funding for his block party. All right. He just
Cody ran this by me. He's like, "Did you make this?" He's like, "I got this off Reddit. Did you make this?" And I was like, "No, I didn't." I was like, "Is this really off Reddit?" He goes, "No, I made this." Come on.
Fantastic.
Neil, let me just ask, what you're just going to throw another block party willy-nilly? Like, what if this all goes poorly yet again? I feel like there needs to be some downside risk for you here.
I'm okay. It'll be egg on my face. I'll handle the liability, Randy. I want to feel some stuff. I think it would be really fun to be here in person to see Rory win. And Randy, we were talking about it a little bit. It kind of goes to some of my feelings of being on site. It's really easy to be cynical about a lot of stuff in golf right now. And I was just thinking about it last night after we left the course, and I was like, I just think I would really enjoy watching Rory win, and so that's what I want to root for it. That's where I'm at, and it's kind of as simple as that. So that's what I'm manifesting that. That's my storyline. And I know I'm sorry if that disappoints you.
No, it sucks. Yeah.
What's fun to hear though, I know it thrills and delights you to, it could be an all-timer, because then if he gets close again and it goes wrong, like how delightful is that for you? And I'm feeling pain. Like that's what we're looking for. We're looking for emotion, man, but tragedy or comedy. We want either way, man. I want to feel something this week. That's what I'm looking for, Randy.
No, I know. It just all feels like destructive habits. It feels like I don't want to.
Feels
see
like we're watching the
heroin
Bengals
addicts
play.
want to feel something.
And then listen to TC over here. TC's gonna be like, "Oh, guys, maybe I'll swing through."
Randy,
Friday it looks like it's going well. TC's just gonna stop by.
Don't let him off the hook, Randy. You talk yourself into the Reds every year. All right, you want to talk about destructive habits? Like you got to.
And the Kings, root for the Kings. Come on,
but
Randy.
That's outside of my work life.
Light the
that's
beam.
for fun.
That's worse.
This is your career, Neil.
That's where you're investing your personal time to.
You're a father now, Neil.
All right, Randy, you get to go next. What do you? What's the big storyline on your draft board?
Actually, Can Rory win was number one. So let me
It was
go
number
to
one
my-
for me too.
So we're fishing in the same pond. I did stick my neck out. How about that?
I do think it's fun how popular of a pick he is, right? And I think that is somewhat due to what I will draft for my storyline. And it could be bad news for Rory. Guys, the official storyline is this. Is Scotty bringing a hot putter to Augusta with him? And I would point you to his week in Houston, where he was plus 1.77 strokes gained putting. That's the best putting performance he's had in his last 25 starts. If he has found something with the putter, I love his chances. I will remind you, last year he rode a tie for second in Houston to a green jacket victory a few weeks later. This year he finished tied for second again in Houston. I just think if Scotty has found something, if he's rounding into form, this could be his third green jacket. So that's my official storyline pick.
Randy, we're fishing big guns, man. Clash of Titans. Let's go.
The good players are going to do well at this very difficult setup in this major championship.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be difficult though?
I mean, it's a difficult, it's a exacting challenge. It's a difficult test. Like, it's very difficult for Aaron Rye to compete on this golf course. Just pulling that name out.
You would have loved it. I was
fired.
right at 15, and just that they had the sub airs just vrooming over there, man. Like the exhaust pipes going out, just hearing that low
I
rumble.
believe it's precision air
air
at Augusta. So
anyways, TC, what's your top storyline?
yeah, a lot of different directions we could go here. I'm gonna go best available. You know, this is not a needs-based pick. This is just best available. I think Ken Ludwig, Ludwig's second appearance, he's kind of been shaky a little bit coming in, but he garnered a lot of hype from people. The media machine is on for him this week. I think he, The Athletic had a big feature on him, all sorts of, Johnny come latelys, throwing the spotlight on him. So listen, we've been here for a long time, and we're going to be on this block for the next 2 decades. So Ludwig, I want to see you back up last year's magical, debut with some more substance here.
I'm supposed to kind of punt with having the Rory thing taken, but it is still my number one, and my take is this on this. I think that Rory,
you're taking a player that's already been taken.
Well, it's not that I'm taking a player. It's taking a different storyline, and the storyline is this. All right. I'm probably gonna pick Rory this week. I'm not committed as of Monday. I have until Wednesday to lock in the pick.
Flat circle.
Okay. I haven't listened. And this will be, I have a once in a lifetime. I'm a one and done for picking Rory for the rest of my life. If I pick him this week and he does not win, I will not ever pick him again for Augusta.
I don't believe
okay.
that.
I don't believe that. I know you don't. I know you don't.
Cody, write that down. Please write that one down. We need to remember that take.
Yeah, Solly, put that in your little tracker thing that you've.
I will put that. I'll put that in the NLU record that I'm not allowed to pick Rory ever again. I do think this is his best chance with kind of Scotty scuffling a little bit coming in. I know he had a close finish at Houston, but that doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot for me. His ball striking's not gotten all the way there.
My pick.
Yeah, I hated your pick, Randy. If it's going to happen, if these swing changes he made in the offseason, it looks like he is a different golfer than he has been. The Players' Championship was very it was just impressive of how the 8-footers felt like they were going to go in. And it just felt like he was very in control of his golf ball in a way that, and in control of his expectations. And he's just got more of a fuck you attitude, it looks like, and doesn't feel like he's leaving things up to chance or up to the luck or up to the golf gods for him to go do it. Like, if he's going to do it, he's just going to say fuck you to everyone and just blow the doors off this week. And it's either this or I don't think he wins a Masters. Like, I think I will be on the camp of he's not going to win a Masters if he doesn't win this one. That's my commitment.
Hell
and that is
yeah.
my top storyline for the week.
All right, I'll take that.
Does that work? Is that
He's
fair?
in his angsty era, Randy. He doesn't have to worry about taking anyone's phone this week.
Put my fucking name on it.
Is he really though? I mean, I guess this is always going to be a psychological evaluation for Rory. I don't care about swing changes. I don't care about feels.
And that's what I'm saying. He's either going to pass the head test this time, or he's not ever going to pass it. Because I do think
Randall kind of put his game in a body bag a little bit too at Augusta, right?
Well, all right. So here's kind of where I was starting to waver a little bit. And then I'm just going to throw some numbers at you guys. And that Augusta's test is highlighted by the volume of approaches that you have to hit from 150 to 200 yards, specifically from 175 to 200 yards. The best player since the beginning of this year from that range is your king, Sepp Straka.
Yeah.
Next best from that range.
He's a Ryder Cup lock, I heard.
But Big Shot Bob. Third is
Another Ryder
Zalatoris.
Cup lock.
Okay, so that is some names.
Zalatoris is my pick to win this week. So.
I've got him in something we're going to do later this week as well. But Scotty so far this year is like 10% off of his 2-year baseline from that range. Like his ball striking was 99th percentile, and it has not been. So there's a dip there. Now the problem here is Rory is like 24% off his 2-year baseline from this distance. So not only is this not a strength of Rory's game, he's actually, despite the good play this year, he's down in this category that matters a lot for Augusta. Funny enough, he's really improved in the 125 to 150 category that we've dogged him on forever. And you don't hit 125 to 150 shots at Augusta, almost nowhere on the golf course, do you? You hit a lot less of those than you do on a typical PGA Tour golf course. So that's where I started waving right before the show, just being like, fuck, man, like there's a specific reason why Rory's course history here is not good. Like compared to a lot of the guys that have very solid histories in terms of strokes gain compared to their expectation, Rory's does not stick out compared to the Xanders and the Scotties and so many of the guys that we've seen have success on this golf course.
And that was 150 to 200.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's the storyline again?
No, I'm just throwing some numbers behind. Like if it goes wrong, like that's kind of the storyline of what has not gone right or where
This
where
is
Rory
called
has
solid
been.
hedging.
No, I'm still in on the take. I'm just saying like the math.
Shout
here
out to my guy Ryan.
love
That
this.
being said, I'm still taking Rory.
I'm going against the data here. That you should love this. I'm going eye test and total gut test to say if it's going to happen, this is the year that's going to happen. So back up to you, Neil. Say you next on the draft list.
God, I mean, I had one storyline prepared. That was I got
was
some
it.
thoughts
That's
on
it.
site. For me, that's it.
It was a one-player
I would say-
draft for Neil.
Actually, I think there's some interest. It's
It's not a player draft. It's a storyline draft.
No, something that I'm interested to watch like Thursday, Friday is it's Langer's last year. Cabrera's back. Phil seems to be showing signs of life. Kind of the past champions category is interesting, like the older past champions category, I should say. The olds. Who's going to be the
Mr.
alpha of the olds
Player.
this year? Randy, I always find that to be a fun storyline to follow. When Fred Couples, 5, 6, 7 years ago used to kind of make that Thursday, Friday run. Like, oh, look at Freddie's playing well. I think it's fun to see these guys with all that course knowledge, like who can bring it year to year. And this year, I feel like it's up in the air because VJ, he's out due to injury. He would have been a kind of a favorite for that category. So the king of the olds is up for grabs. I'll take that storyline. That's kind of from the personal collection.
What's in your mind, Neil? What's your kind of the age level for these former champions group? Like, how old do they have to be for the cohort that we're talking about?
The easy answer would be 50, but I'm going to say 45. I'm going to lower it just a little bit. But you kind of the olds, you know them when you see them, Randy.
Sure.
Guys are like, yeah, that guy's not going to win. But Phil, what was that? 2 years ago, he was second.
Yeah.
That's fun. I think that's always fun when some guy like comes out of nowhere. You're like, oh my God, he's like.
For instance, Bubba Watson, 46 years old. He's officially an old.
I would put him in that category,
Interesting.
100%.
Adam Scott, is he an old now?
Borderline old. He's still, I don't know. I don't think that he still qualifies as.
He's 44 years, 9 months. So he's not an old. His last is not an old.
Yeah.
All right, Randy, what's your next?
Oh gosh, where should we go here? You know what? Let's I'm going to select the storyline. Can the proclaimed best player in the world at the moment from Phil Mickelson, Joaquin Niemann, not only can he get in contention at a major, will he earn his first career top 10 at a major? And of course, Mickelson, to much notoriety, made that claim a few weeks ago. How serious he was, who knows?
It's a joke, Randy. Come on, it's a joke. We're just having fun.
I'll say Joaquin, if it's getting to be time, it's probably past time for him to show up in a major. But to his credit, he won the Saudi International in December of 2024. So 5 months ago? He's had 2 wins so far in 2025. It's like we got to see it, Joaquin. And I don't want to say it's this year or never, but it needs to be this year if I'm going to take you seriously.
TC.
I'm gonna go with Xander. I think Xander, it's one of those things. We talked about it a little bit on Sunday with regard to Max of just, is this place, is the comfort level at a place like this strong enough to kind of wash away any sort of bad juju you have going on right now. And I think with Xander, like, this is a really good. I think if Xander doesn't play well this week, then like it's officially time to be worried about Xander moving forward.
Long
Xander's
term or
been,
short term?
I think both.
Really?
Yeah. So he could be the McRib, right? It was a rib injury, right?
I think it was an oblique, or was it rib?
I think it was a rib on his side, on his oblique.
area.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. I think Xander's been. This is a spot where, like this place fits him to a T, and if he doesn't win one of these next, 2 to 3 Masters, I think, like he could. I think Xander could really separate from the pack a little bit more with a win here this week, more so than some of the other guys.
Yeah, and it's funny. Xander's like course history for this course is not incredible. I mean, he's guys like obviously Scotty, but Zalatoris, Spieth, Rahm, Morikawa, Cameron Smith, Justin Rose, just straight up in strokes gained rank higher than Xander has, and even like compared to an expected one, some of these top players get really big leaps in their expected. In their performance versus the expectation. And Xander and Rory are kind of the ones that are just kind of lulling around their normal PGA Tour golf when it comes
to
that
kind of throws everything into a big bucket when he's got a T2, he's got a T3, he's got a solo 8th last year. Like it's, he's just got a full, like you look at Xander's Wikipedia profile, just major wise, and like, he's a freaking hunter in major championships. So I think, he's got a miscut in 2022 here and then a T50 in 2018. But otherwise, it's been top 17 or better.
He has a lot of good finishes. It's interesting. I would say I still think short term for Xander is a different question than long term for me. If he has a bad Masters, I still think that he's just kind of shaking off some rust and health, and who knows exactly how the body feels. It would take a longer stretch for me to be concerned long term for him, but. Something shouldn't be forgotten about. It always does feel like Augusta is weirdly a place that, like, if you're not playing your best coming in, there is a sense of found
Totally.
it.
That's why I'm picking like
Yeah.
that's the storyline for me.
Yeah.
Is like is that it's kind of the balm to alleviate any aches and pains coming in.
Because we'll all feel stupid if Xander's up near the top. Like, fuck, we knew he was good.
And a lot of value. I mean, plus 1,800, like, it's so much value, Randy, compared to everybody betting on Rory. Doesn't matter. I want to feel something.
Well, and then too, it's like if Xander wins, that's
three
Three
out
out
of
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 four.
the last 5 majors, I think.
I think 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
Yep.
3 out of 4. Yeah. That changes the narrative in a big way, right?
I feel like that is
that's
a really under talked about storyline coming into this one. Speaking of which, I know we've mentioned Scotty already, but this is a storyline that I'm surprised it took this long to mention. He would be the second person in Masters history to win 3 out of 4. Like that, Tiger Woods never won 3 out of 4. Jack won in 63, 65, and 66. And this would be 22, 24, 25 for Scotty. And he's the overwhelming favorite going into this one. That is, if he gets anywhere near the lead, like we're chasing some level of history of winning this amount of green jackets in this short of a time period. And it almost kind of seems like people are already willing to put the green jacket on him. I felt that way last year. I don't feel that way this year of just like ready to do it. It's more of a human pursuit this year of like, this is a realistic question of, can he channel it and get it figured out? Last year, it really was like, hey, if you are your B- game or better, you're going to probably beat the rest of this field. So I look forward to that one.
I would say a storyline that I felt the last 3 years. I don't think there's any organization that's benefited more from the schism in pro golf than Augusta National in this tournament. This is the first place that all these guys come back together to play, and we haven't mentioned Jon Rahm. We haven't talked about Bryson, won a major last year. Like, it's incredible. It's like, oh my God, they're all going to be playing for the first time in, I guess 7 months, 6 months, and maybe if they played in the Ryder Cup together. And that's just that. I mean, candidly, that's added a lot of juice to the Masters the last 3 years for me personally. So I guess that's a storyline. Which one of these live guys comes back and is in form? It's just generally as a question.
Is that your next?
I'm taking that. I'm drafting that.
Before we go to TC's, we're not going to make a lot of guarantees in this podcast or on Wednesday, but AT&T has a new guarantee because most things in life are not guaranteed, like actually getting the rental car you requested or your wedding turning out exactly like you dreamed it would. Someone making another pot of coffee in the break room after drinking the last drop of the last one.
Randy.
Not guaranteed. In a world where nothing is guaranteed, AT&T is bringing something new to the table. They're bringing a guarantee with connectivity you depend on, deals you want, and service you deserve, or they'll make it right. So if you want to know more about the AT&T guarantee, head to att.com/guarantee. AT&T connecting changes everything. Terms and conditions apply. Visit att.com/guarantee for details. TC, how many you got left here? We'll
I could
into the table.
Yeah,
I
think honestly, Lynx Master Jordan, this Spieth, man, I'm feeling things. Feeling things I haven't felt in a while, Randy. All right. Just gonna throw it out there. That's all. I'll cede the floor.
I would love to. God, I just cannot imagine him putting together 4 solid days in a row. It just doesn't seem.
Randy, in good conscience, cannot recommend this stock.
No,
right
it just doesn't.
He's a fiduciary. He can't do that.
We can save some speed stuff for the end because it was one of my things on my board. Don't sleep on Spieth here, TC. But the golf course has changed since he won it, and I don't think it necessarily plays into his hands the way that it has changed a little bit.
Oh, I wish they would change it back, man.
I do want to say, Randy, I'd like to put this question to you. Everything that TC said about Xander, I feel like is truly word for word the same with Colin. But with him, it's better short-term form.
I was gonna say Colin's been playing great golf.
He's been playing great, but it's like he has not been able to close, and so that's been a storyline for the year. And then, close calls, like you go to his data golf page and, he has better strokes gained here at Augusta National. And he's got kind of a similar resume as far as like top 10 finishes go, including last year where he was in the final group. So Randy, are you buying low? What are you thinking here? You're buying high?
Buying high, selling low.
Buying high, selling low. What are we doing?
It's a good question, Neil. You bring up a very good point. This was actually one of my storylines. I think this is a true litmus test week for Colin Morikawa. Is this guy any good, actually? Like, does he deserve to be one of the 3, 4, 5 best players in the world? Or, essentially, like, how serious do we need to take this guy? Because you're right. 3 straight top 10s at Augusta. He's played well this year. I think he's third in the data golf rankings on the season. He's 4th in OWGR. Why don't I feel confident that he's going to show up this week?
I thought he was your guy, Randy.
Not right now. He's too high right now.
I know. I want him to be my guy. So I feel like he is going to show up. He needs to show up, which probably, if you're sitting at home, means he won't show up.
Listen, you shouldn't have to make a call on this until after tonight. We're probably going to see him tonight. This is where we saw him last year at a party with his dog with shoes on. And if the dog has shoes on tonight, I think it's kind of like, did Punxsutawney Phil see a shadow?
That's exactly right.
If the dog doesn't have shoes tonight, we'll report it, and you can go ahead and make him a pick. Porter tweeted this out.
Do we know what the dog's name is?
I think it's like avocado toast or something like that.
If you guys could get that as well. If we get the
I'll chase that down for you, Randy.
You probably find that on Instagram.
Koa the Doodle.
Okay. Morikawa leads the world in strokes gained approach in 2025. He leads the world in strokes gained ball striking in 2025. Strokes gained tee to green in 2025. Strokes gained overall in 2025. Is one of 2 players to finish in the Masters top 10 each of the last 3 years. Played in the final pairing last year. Is a 2-time major champion and is not one of the top 3 favorites. This week. That was from Kyle.
That's the whole thing right there.
Yeah,
that's damning.
Is it? I think it's just like the markets are kind of underrating him a little bit more than anything, I would say. Plus 1,600 type of
I think there's good reason to underrate him.
Okay.
We've struggled to close. That's a fact here.
I'll close us out for this for my storylines, just to say, like, a few of these kind of sleepy live guys are up to some stuff. I'm not talking about Rahm or Bryson or any of the big guns, but I could absolutely see one of Sergio or Phil top 10ing this week.
The olds.
Sergio is playing.
Phil winning.
I could see Phil winning as well, but I think it's like I think that at least one of those 2 is going to finish in the top 10 this week. Sergio's been playing some really, really good golf, and Phil, all you need to see is one sign of life to believe that he could do something crazy this week.
I mean,
I'd be rooting for it.
we
It'd be
don't
exciting.
Solid. We haven't
enough
talked
about
about Cam Smith yet either.
Yeah, I feel differently about that one. For whatever reason, than I do like some of these weird olds that I don't know. I'm getting hyped to like legitimately find out about.
I'll say this on Phil because I was fishing in some of these ponds. He was an even year guy early in his career, but he's kind of switched to an odd year guy lately. T2 in 2023, T21, T18, T22, T2, going all the way back in the odd years. The last
It's good
the last
intel,
10
Randy.
years. Yeah.
We truly don't speak enough about him looking like a, strung out offensive coordinator in the short sleeve rain gear, finishing second a couple years ago. I mean,
I feel like
unbelievable. And it was so much fun to watch him on the back nine. It was so much fun. So yeah, that's
CBS was panicking.
I know.
They were late to the party.
He refused to
Birdie
talk to
18.
anybody that week.
Oh,
right. He just didn't
the
didn't
champions
speak at
dinner.
the champions dinner. He
My
just was like, I'm
favorite
not talking.
You got to
Incredible.
wonder how the market uncertainty is going to affect him this week, though. Will his
That's
mind
fair.
be
I
elsewhere,
know.
Neil?
That's very fair.
It's true. Anybody have anything that they're dying to get off their chest before we move on to the rest of the show?
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys know Patrick Reed's only 34 years old? I would have lost a bet. I would have guessed
That's
late
wild.
30s, early 40s.
Yeah, that's kind of a shock.
I wouldn't count
Also,
him
that
out either.
that dog tag that he was wearing, Joseph Lamagna did a little hit with him from Live Miami. And he was wearing some bedazzled dog tags around his neck.
I love it.
Strange.
Dog tags.
I think we haven't talked Tommy yet.
You had your opportunity to speak.
How
on
do
it.
you guys?
Speak on this,
no,
brother.
I'm speaking on it now. I'm still like midway through my big board here. How are you guys feeling about Tommy? I'll ask
80,
you.
81 does not have me feeling great, TC.
I got him in.
If you're asking for my
honest.
honest opinion, no offense to anyone.
I'm not feeling the win this week, TC. That's where I come down.
God,
I don't think we're gonna get the monkey off our back this week.
I think Tommy's going to play well this week. I think he's like in the top. He's plus 120 for a top 20 this week. I think that's borderline insulting. Like I would not.
it is.
I don't think he's going to finish outside the top 20.
It is.
I honestly don't put a lot of stock in a really bad round in the wind on a golf course. It's nothing like Augusta. While his mind's probably on about getting to here. Just I would throw that out. He finished top 5 here last year. Not dismissing Tommy at all this week. And I'm not just sucking up to TC.
Guys, I've got another bone to pick here. I'm on the Blow Pigs Wikipedia page. There's not a single yellow square.
Oh, for a second I thought
there.
it meant you were mentioned on
No.
Wyndham's Wikipedia page. Which I was like, whoa.
I mean that somebody could make that happen.
Yeah.
Like it is editable. He's got the one, he won the US Open at LACC. His next best major championship finish is T33 at the Open Championship. He's played in 12 majors, 5 cuts made. 12 majors, and
baseball on the mind. He's like a 40% strikeout guy that just has all fields power. Like he's gonna run into a bunch of home runs, but like the path to getting there is tough, and he's gonna strike out a lot. Big swinging strike rate, big chase, big outside the zone swinger, and you're not going to get consistent performances out of
I
him.
just don't think he's taking enough walks either.
No, he's not taking any walks.
Don't throw him a meatball, Randy.
No.
So
Looking
it kind of reminds me
middle.
like a Chris Davis.
Oh, love that.
Things
comp.
of that nature.
Aristides Aquino, maybe.
Yeah, so I just wanted to call that out. I would like to see something from Sahith this week.
Yes, that's
This
a
should
good call.
be a
TC.
great course for him. And then I would like to ride the DB straight vibing train. I think this place brings out irrational confidence in guys, and I think DB straight vibing is an irrational confidence, like a merchant of that. And I would like to see him, really, really step to the fore. The statistical models be damned, because I know he's not a bomber. And then like it's just crazy. Like I never know what to do with Hideki.
Never.
Hideki's just like,
Can he win this week?
he could.
He could. Yeah, he could.
Yeah. But yeah, Hideki I'm always just totally perplexed by him. And I think Sepp might be a guy that we need to talk about more. Yeah, I think that's a really good value at
plus 8,000. Like that's your guy. I mean, I would hope he's in some of your guys' picks with how much you guys have hyped him this week and how much I mean, plus 8,000 is borderline disrespectful for what his long iron play looks like. And I know he gets a distance hit on this golf course, but I don't know. I'd be looking first round leader play maybe for him. It's interesting. It's one of the ones that jumped out. We'll get to some more down the odds.
Solly, one other one. JT. Are you buying his recent resurgence?
I am, but not Augusta. I just don't. Okay. I think he's got scar tissue with this place. He's had those horrific missed cuts, like the epic collapses to miss the cuts on Friday. It just seems like he hypes himself up for this week too much, and we just have not seen sustained success from him at Augusta. Okay. But I'm buying the resurgence.
I am also. I'm gonna ride with you on that full take.
So. Few notes from in person so far. I would say I got to walk the course for briefly this afternoon, or I got to walk the back nine. Really, the tree damage, the trees being gone is definitely noticeable. I mean, I know to look for it, but it is noticeable out there. Behind 15 does look a lot different. It honestly looks like way better. I never looked at those trees and thought they needed to come down, but now when you're standing there looking at that shot, that fairway, it almost was like a depth piece for that almost island-like, peninsula-like area of that 15th green. Now if that's gone, it looks way smaller. Like it just kind of looks a little bit more intimidating. I know these guys have hit that shot a million times and they know the exact depth and all that stuff, but it just looks a little different. I mean, and I don't think that's nothing. And
kind of looks like the old 16 at Jack's Beach, if we're being honest.
A little bit. And that look now down 11 and how it lines up with 12 green without those trees in the way, and how it just brings you that much more. I just love connectivity between other holes on golf courses. I think it does make you dream of a lot more trees being removed from Augusta National, and how fun that would be. Yeah, and how that all the noises would flow, and how the creativity of the angles could flow a lot differently. I thought the left of 13, I don't know this to be true, but it just felt like left of 13 green up on that hill, there were a lot less trees up there. Like there's always all that vegetation and the azaleas and all that, but it looked like less big pines, and it looks really good. Just kind of that removal and kind of how that green sits up in that setting. So I
would say, the tree loss is noticeable, but almost in a good way. I felt the same way. Totally I looked down 11 to 12. That's something that always sticks out to me is when it looks like there's 200 yards of fairway behind 11 green. It's like the areas of perfectly mown grass that are like not in play just sets the scale and the vista of this place so well. And then actually there are numerous trees that are still up that have cables that have been secured via cables. So there's trees right of 18 that are leaning, like you look at them like, oh my God, those are going to fall. And then you see like, oh no, they're hooked into cables. So it looks like they've tried to save a lot of trees. Noticeable that it took a lot down, but they've tried to keep as many as they can up, it seems like.
Yeah. And if you're behind on catching up on the social news from the day, it absolutely dumped rain. They had said they weren't even going to open the gates this morning. They ended up opening the gates, and if you had a Monday ticket, you made it till about, I think, 11:25 when they called play, and they're not letting patrons back in.
And you get a Monday ticket.
They get
for next year.
They get a refund, and they get the right to purchase a Monday ticket for next year. So that's job well done from Augusta on that front, because I think we were sitting here lamenting like, man, imagine if you flew in here hoping to go to the Masters. You got to go today at least for a little bit, and then you get the right to come back next year if you want it. So wet golf course, I know they got the precision air and all that, but other in the Rory category, just saying. So,
gentlemen, I'm gonna
it's supposed to be really nice the rest of the week, right?
Looks like Friday I thought might have a little bit of issue. But that is,
but otherwise, like high 60s, low 70s.
Yep.
Just sunny,
calm weather. But 60% chance of rain on Friday. Neil has given us his supposed to schedule for a 3-inning start, but he went 4 1/3. So
thanks for having me.
Bullpen game.
Thanks, Neil.
Checking in on the odds here early in the week as we're here Monday afternoon. We have Scotty Scheffler, of course, the favorite at plus 450. Rory, second favorite at plus 650. That's gaining on Scotty, man. That was not how odds in major championships looked last year. John Rahm at plus 1,400. We barely talked about him really at all. Ludwig plus 1,600. Morikawa plus 1,600, Xander plus 1,800, Bryson plus 2,000, JT plus 2,200, Joaquin Neiman plus 2,800, Hideki also at plus 2,800, Brooks Koepka also hasn't garnered a mention yet, plus 3,000, Jordan Spieth disrespectfully plus 3,300, Fleetwood plus 3,500, and then a few other weird notables as you go farther down. Zalatoris at plus 5,500 jumped out to me. Again, incredible course history. And as mentioned, some of those iron play numbers were really going in his favor. Sepp at plus 8,000, Sergio plus 8,000, Reed plus 9,000. Keegan, you guys have been telling me all about this Keegan character. He's plus 11,000, expecting a lot of you guys to have some money on him this week. And Phil at plus 12,000.
That's down from,
KBV moved that market
15,000
from plus 22. I think it was 22,000, and he moved that one. So
solid couple I'm seeing. I think Mav McNeely, I know he's a rookie here, but if there's somebody who's got the kind of the mental horsepower to deduce this place in his rookie debut, and seems like this kind of suits his game just from a statistical profile, the way he's been hitting it all year. He's plus 15,000, and then you've got I just had to call out the pro is currently plus 27,000, which is crazy.
as well. Which I don't think he's going to win this week. I'm just going to put that out there. I know people think we're being soft on him in recent times, but I don't think he's going to win. But I wouldn't be surprised if he made the cut this week. I'll say that. But those odds are, of course, subject to change, as I most certainly hopefully mentioned. And FanDuel is giving new customers an offer unlike any other for the first major at Augusta. Right now, new customers get $250 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. We got Spieth going for the second green jacket. The Zalatoris finally break through. We have all kinds of crazy stuff to follow, and we're going to make all of our picks on the Wednesday show. You can bet all our favorite markets like first round leaders, finishing positions, 3 balls, tournament matchups, and you get paid instantly when you bring home a major win this major season. There'll also be a no laying up specials section on the FanDuel Sportsbook app, so you can see our picks on there. So don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/NLU. Download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, and swing for some green at Augusta. Must be 21 older and present in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and older and present in D.C. First online real money wager. Only $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text Hope NY in New York. God, that was my best one ever, I think, on that one.
Wow.
Holy shit. Sports fan CJ97, winning score prediction with the condition.
So, Sal, you think it's gonna be soft ish?
Ish. I don't think it's going to be. It's not a slop fest. I mean, they got 2 days to dry it out. There's going to be sun on Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know what the wind is going to look like in Tuesday, Wednesday. If they got some wind, they got the kitty litter out though. Like the pebbles are sprinkled out there, and they're ready for it. It looks like wind tomorrow is gust up in the 20s at times, but for the most part, not much wind, and then a little bit more wind on Wednesday. So I'd say medium. I don't think it's going to be firm. The greens were firm as of yesterday, watching shots come in, but there was over an inch of rain today. So even with the precision there, I'm sure they've softened up just a little bit. But not a lot of wind. It doesn't look like in the forecast for. I mean, Thursday is showing quite light wind, especially compared to last year. Yeah. A little bit like medium level wind on Friday with some potential rain, which again could soften things up. Pretty light standard wind on Saturday, and even lighter on Sunday. So remembering the scores from last year, Scotty won an 11 under, and only one other guy was lower than 5 under. But that was some mega wind in the early parts of last year. So I think it's going to be lower than that. But it's always hard to predict that winning.
I just want to see him throw us a curveball with the setup one of these years. Like, hey, this year we're not going to have the first cut or second cut or whatever they call it there, or like just get the balls running out more towards the pine straw. If guys hunting angles, be awesome.
some scores. I'm not going to include Dustin Johnson's November Masters in this, but the last several winners of the Masters have been 11 under, 12 under, 10, 10, and 13. Tiger in 2019. Reed was 15 under in 2018. Sergio was -9. Danny Willett was -5. So obviously some variety in that one. But I think if I was to guess, I think this is going to be on the lower end based on what we know, and I'm going to call -14 as the winning score this week.
I will ride with you on that, Solly.
Okay,
I'm liking 14 as well.
I'll go a touch under. I was thinking in that 11-12 range.
I stole this from Ron Kloss from BetSperts. He tweeted this out, just a bunch of info on Augusta, which I found to be all interesting stuff. It's the most predictive course. It's got the most predictive course history. So, we talked a little bit about this a few weeks ago with Bay Hill being a very predictive golf course as well, but Augusta is even stronger. It's got elevation changes, of course, uneven lies, tricky pin positions, steep runoffs around the green, swirling crosswinds, and risk-reward approach shots. 73% of the scoring comes from attacking the 4 par 5s. You got to survive the other 14 holes. It's got the toughest par 4s and the 4th toughest par 3s of any golf course on tour. The average score is plus 1.47 over the last 4 years. That is the toughest and the 7th longest annual course, but it also has the 2nd widest fairways at 51 yards on average. It lacks hazard areas off the tee. It's got the 3rd fewest bunkers and only 4 water danger holes. 72% of the approaches come from over 150 yards. It's got non-penal ryegrass, of course, the first cut of that fairway. Greens are treacherous, sloping, firm, lightning fast, bent grass ranging from 12 to 15 on the stent meter. And the course fits are bombers off the tee, carry distance on soft reverse mode fairways, mid to long iron play, high apex height into firm greens, creative scramblers, lag putters, par 5 scores, course history veterans. Oh, that was just like a awesome write-up and summary of Augusta of the exact guys that thrive there and all the considerations there. So,
amen.
Rich Rants asks, why do you think we've not had a classic since 2019? Even that was pretty much settled by the final hole. All other majors have produced at least one classic final round in the time since. I don't think I have an answer here. I'm curious.
I think some of it's course setup, man.
In what way?
I just think it just hasn't seemed as fiery, and I think there's just less guys now that can win this event too. Right. It feels more, granted, we're not getting fluky winners either, but we're also not getting, and I guess that's supposed to be the sign of a great golf course is that it can separate out. But I think it's gotten almost too hard to make birdies in certain spots, or like they kind of have to manipulate the place. And I wish they'd just kind of, like, it seems like Saturday into Sunday, they really changed the complexion of the place, and they're still trying to figure out kind of what the right, give and take is there. Because I think it's definitely, I think for a while there they were way too penal as far as not enough birdies happening, and now I think they've gone back to some more birdies and all of that. But 13 is a good example of, if anything, I think Ridley was talking about this in one of his pressers or something last year, where it moving that tee back actually made it a less thoughtful hole
For
as
sure.
well. Guys are just hitting bombing driver down there now. They don't have to worry about skirting through into the pine straw and all that. I think there's just, it's like they've almost optimized it too much.
They've limited the variety. The more you lengthen two and lengthening and these holes, it limits the variety of the ways to play the hole.
Exactly.
It just becomes kind of thoughtless and hit the driver. So
it's pretty prescriptive, I think.
Yeah. So, and which is kind of the opposite of what the original intention of the course is. I don't know if it contributes to it lacking suspense down the stretch or not, but it hasn't helped that Scotty, two of them has just kind of blown the doors off of people.
Yeah.
The Hideki one was somewhat close at the end because he kind of let some people back in, but and Koepka just did not keep up with Rahm in that final round, that grueling final round day. So I don't know if it's necessarily anything specific to the championship or the course, other than these have these little pockets where this kind of thing happens. So I don't know. Randy, you have any thoughts on this?
No, it's probably a lot of luck, or just odd, luck of the draw, I guess. I will say we're a little due looking at just the history. We're in one of the longer droughts, at least without a playoff. Going back to Mike Weir's playoff win in 2003, we have not had one since Sergio in 2017. So there were many between 2003 and 2017. So perhaps we're due for one this year. I think probably strength of the field overall. It's just a smaller field. There aren't as many like competitive dudes. I'm sure that maybe factors in. But yeah, hopefully this year will be a classic.
I'm going to ask you guys to pick one guy at plus more than 100 to 1. What is that? Plus 10,000 or more. If you had to pick one guy that could win the Masters greater than plus 10,000, who would you pick? This is going to include Keegan, Tom Kim, Sahith, Justin Rose, Sung Jae, Berger, Brian Harmon, who just won last week, Fitz, Adam Scott, JJ Spawn, Sam Burns, Phil is up there, Billy Ho. If you had to pick one guy, who's it going to be?
Gosh, that's a tough one.
I know.
I'm going to say Phil.
I kind of want to say Phil as well.
I mean, he's the preeminent old.
Yeah.
He's the alpha old right now. I know Team Rose is kind of nipping at his heels there, but I'd say Phil. And let's listen, HE. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Harris English as well. He's plus 2,200 at the moment.
Yeah, I know. Some of these like Matt Fitzpatrick, like
He's
should
fallen off
be
big time.
better.
stink,
Yeah, I
though.
know. But
Mav McNeely's the 10th ranked player in the
Right?
official World Golf rankings and is plus 15,000 to win the Masters. this week.
That's where I really like Mav. There's a top debutante,
There you go.
and we've got Davis Thompson at plus 600, Aaron Rye, ball speed imposter, Taylor Pendrith, Thomas Dietrich. Mav McNeely is fifth in that cadre of players right there. So I think him. I like Max Grazerman. I know he's fallen off a little bit, but plus 1,200 for him on that. Joe Highsmith playing great golf right now. So that's gonna be like I'm tracking that market.
Yeah,
Personally.
This feels like it could be a weird year. I don't know why, but it feels like I don't know why I was drawn to that part of the list more than ever. What do you guys think of what Ludwig had going on the fit category today? This was garnering some commentary around the press center. If you're watching the YouTube channel, this is up on the screen right now. He's got going off doing a little makeover. I think he does too.
I think Adidas like kind of relaunched their classic logo, some of their retro stuff. So very much I still think we need to get Ludwig maybe a little bit smaller hat. He's kind of got the Rory, like I have a small head as well, that sort of thing. So I think, I think he looks sharp. I think some of the stuff that he was wearing and some of the pre, I think they did a photo shoot last week or a couple weeks ago. That stuff was a little bit too aggro. This looks classy.
Yeah, this is working. I've seen some of the fits for this week and looking maybe a little baggy. I don't know if I would classify as Ludwig as the guy that can pull off baggy. I also didn't think Jay Day could pull off baggy, and I think he is.
I think
pulling it
Ludwig
off
can
these days.
pull off like whatever you want him to.
Could be true. Well, we can hold for that one. All right, we got a lot still to get through here. We're going to go quickly through this next section if you guys will allow it. This is our head-to-head picks. We're going to go through two guys, and you got to pick one. Who's going to finish higher this week? And we'll go around in this order. We'll go TC to Randy to me if we can. Scotty or Rory?
Higher meaning like better.
Better, yeah.
Yeah. I'll go Scotty.
Scotty.
Let's have some fun. I'm going Rory. Morikawa or Rahm?
Morikawa. Randy's in a blender right now.
I'll say Rahm.
I'm going to go Morikawa. Xander or Cantlay?
I'll say Cantlay. I mean, at some point, Cantlay is going to play well in one of these majors, right?
He's gotten better in majors.
Yeah. I feel like Augusta's he's not great here. I'll say Xander.
He's got too many Delta commitments.
I'm going to say Cantlay. I'm going to ride with Cantlay here. And I'll check what the merch are on this one. If you get your picks in the comment section here, go through this exact exercise. You may have to rewind and watch it, but on the YouTube channel, get your picks in. Whoever does the best on this will give a gift card to the pro shop in. Whoever gets the most right out of these two, but you got to get your picks in obviously before Thursday on this one. But next up, Joaquin or Tommy?
I mean, Tommy.
Quick, yeah.
I actually think Tommy. Yeah,
I think
Thank
Tommy
you.
as well.
That's big of you guys.
Russ Henley or Keegan Bradley?
Oh man,
Think about this one.
I'm gonna go Keegan. I love Russ, but if it's a longer ballpark this week, I think Keegan's coming, Sally. He's coming for your ass.
Sure. I'm shaking. Randy?
I like Russ.
I'm going Russ Henley there. Brooks or Bryson?
I'll go Bryson.
Yeah, I'll say Bryson, I guess.
I think I got to go Bryson as well.
Solly, just to be clear, you floated that to people in the comments
Yeah.
of how are we going to track that?
No, not in the live chat. I'm sorry. Like in the actual comments on the YouTube, not in the live chat watching this live. Sorry if everybody's doing this, but no, we're not tracking that in the live chat. Got to go in the comment section.
I'm trying to free us up.
No. Thank you for clarifying that one. Cody's like, what the fuck? I got to go through all these comments. No. Hovland or Spieth?
This pains me. I'm gonna go Hovland. You guys know I'm long Hovland. He is making me feel things. Hovland's making me feel things too, though. I watched that Neil thing with Hovland, the golf ball thing the other day, and it got me all amped up for Hovland.
God, I'll take Spieth.
I'm on Spieth on this one. Hideki or Lowry?
Hideki.
Lowry. Minwoo Lee or Zalatoris?
Zalatoris.
Yeah, DJ put these together. I'm not claiming this one because I don't know if he's trying to will this Minwoo Lee. Yeah, that's very insulting. I'm going Zalatoris with that one. Large Tone or Cam Smith?
Cam Smith.
Oh God, yeah, Cam Smith by default almost.
Yeah, I got to go Cam Smith on that one. Sorry, Big Toad. Scotty and Rory or the field? This is the last one.
I think just because I mean, Scotty's really hard to go against. I think it's Scotty, so I don't even need Rory. It's just Scotty.
Big.
I think there's a year I will take the field.
Okay, I'm going Scotty and Rory in this one. But all right, next up, Cody has prepared, I believe, a little bit of Masters trivia for us.
Gentlemen, what I'll say here is that Solly's done a lot of deep dives on past Masters, everything else like that. Maybe you give a slight pause in your responses on these, okay?
Okay.
Starting here, who was the first player? Who was the first player to win back-to-back in the Masters? Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, or Tom Watson?
Is this like first in?
Yeah, you got to say it. Come on.
I give it long enough pause.
I'm going to say B, Jack Nicklaus.
Very good. B is correct. Moving on here. Who is the last player to win the Masters on his first attempt?
That is answer is B, Fuzzy Zeller.
Good job, Big.
We'll read off the multiple choices on here for the podcast listeners.
Who is the only player to finish runner-up in the Masters to Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods? A, Tom Kite. B, Mark O'Meara. C, Jay Haas.
The answer is A, Tom Kite in 1986 to Jack Nicklaus and 1997 to Tiger Woods.
Good.
That's a great question.
Job. Who is the first Masters champion?
Horton
1934.
Smith.
Very good.
Dr. Horton Smith.
Who is the only player to win the Masters twice in a playoff? A, Bubba Watson. B, Seve. C, Sir Nick Faldo.
Sir Nick?
The answer is Sir Nick in 89 and 90.
Who is the only British Open champion to never post a round under par at the Masters? A, John Daly. B, Todd Hamilton. C, Bobby Jones.
C, Bobby Jones. Did he play in his own event? I don't even remember.
Hamilton feels too obvious.
I'll say C, Bobby Jones as well. I don't remember if he played in
Todd Hamilton.
That's correct.
What is it?
You were right. It was Bobby Jones.
Okay.
Who is the first
Mr.
international
Jones.
player to win the Masters, guys?
I'm gonna go A. Gary Player.
Is that Harry Lighthorse Cooper? No, I think
The other two have won the Masters.
Very, very
say
easy.
Gary Player.
Who is the only player to lose the Masters in a playoff twice?
Greg Norman?
Greg.
Ben Hogan.
A. Chris DeMarco. B.
DeMarco.
Ben Hogan. C. Greg Norman.
I'm going Hogan.
They go with
That
the
is-
third leg.
B. Greg or
Wow.
Ben Hogan.
Norman.
Wow.
The Norman lost to Larry Mize. I think that was the only one he lost in the playoff.
Who is the only multiple Masters champion who never had at least a share of the 54-hole lead? A. Horton Smith. B. Bernhard Longer. Or C. Nick Faldo.
Great question.
Say B. Bernhard Longer.
I'm gonna say C. Nick Faldo.
Yeah, I'm going to join you there.
C. Sir Nick Faldo. Very
Wow.
good.
How many times did he win?
That
3?
one shocked me.
Oh.
Who holds the Masters record for the largest final round comeback? A. Jack Nicklaus, B. Nick Faldo, or C. Jackie Burke Jr.
I'm gonna go B. Nick Faldo.
I'm going to say Nicholas.
C. Jack Burke Jr.
Randy, I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Wow.
That is correct. It is Jackie Burke Jr. That's what I got. That was 10. Very good.
That's great.
Solly.
Randy, I think Randy was the kind of
I'll
the
go-
standout.
I'll go
surprise
back and
performer.
tile him up, but I was very, very impressed.
That was
Randy,
very
you
well done.
get a
Brady's
merch
doing one of those.
credit.
He's doing one of those AI things on another screen with the multiple choice. And Phil, I've seen all those videos. All right, we're gonna do 10 guys, and I want you to tell me. We're
Great.
entering this in the NLU record. Answers for
Okay.
everybody on this one. Will this person win a Masters? Okay, in their life, in their career. Rory, will he win a Masters?
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna say yes. Xander, will he win a Masters?
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna say yes. This is hard because I'm gonna give away a lot of green jackets. Ludwig, will he win a Masters?
Yes. Multiple. He will win multiple Masters, Solly.
Yes, I think he will.
I think so too. Morikawa.
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna say yes. The safe way is just say yes on this because, like, you technically have, a long time to run. You get it rubbed back in your face pretty quickly if they win the next year. This one's an interesting. Bryson, will he ever win a green jacket?
Yes.
No.
I'm declaring no on this one. Tommy Fleetwood.
Yes. Unequivocally.
No. No.
I'm going no.
I also want to be on the record on that one. No.
So mean spirited.
Brooks Koepka.
Solly just keeps shoving the data down. The data is saying that Tommy's gonna win one. I'm gonna say Brooks no.
I'm going to say Brooks no as well.
I'm going Brooks no. Cameron Smith.
Yes.
No.
I'm going no. Final one. Luke Clanton.
He's already one of the best to have never won one.
That's what I'm saying.
He's about due.
I'll say yes.
Oh God. Yeah, for the 20 years of runway, I'll be
30 years of
I could-
runway.
Yeah, I could be in the ground before I have to pay this one. I'll say yes.
I'll say yes as well, just for fun. Okay, I got 5 guys. Will this guy win another Masters? All these guys have won a green jacket. Will they ever get to that elusive 2 green jacket club? Jordan Spieth.
Yes. He's got like 4 though. So
That's true.
Yeah,
Will
he
he
has
win another
one
one?
bunch. This kills me. I say no.
Just because I want to believe in something, I'm going to say yes. Hideki Matsuyama.
no.
No.
No. John Rahm.
Hmm.
I say yes.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
yes as well. Scotty Scheffler.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Patrick Reed.
No.
No.
I'm going no as well. It's hard. I couldn't come up with any more that were like even a realistic potential option. You'd be surprised
That
how
would
much
be
some of those guys
like-
get washed out pretty quick.
Be pretty
Sergio?
sick if Reed won this year.
Right?
I know.
Sergio, I think the answer is probably still going to be no. You're going to say no to pretty much anybody else that won before. Bubba.
I mean,
back to
I
back.
think
Adam
we're to the
Scott.
point with Sergio right now. Like, I think Sergio's a lock to make the European Ryder Cup team if he keeps this up.
I would have to think so as well.
Right.
All right. Will you guys allow me then on the Spieth note to go back a little bit into 2015? The Masters, 10-year anniversary, of course, of Jordan Spieth's. This is a mini dive back into this one. We're not going to do too much shot-by-shot stuff here. But, again, I just want to remind people that Jordan Spieth was 21 years old. Like, Luke Clanton right now is 21 years old, and he will not be winning a Masters at this age. Gordon Sargent is 21 years old. Akshay is 23 years old right now. Like, and he's viewed as one of the young guys on tour. Like, Jordan Spieth almost won it at age 20 the prior year, and then came out and shoots an opening round 64 and straight up brought Augusta to its knees. Followed it with a 66, had a 5-shot lead at the halfway point of the 2015 Masters. He only shot 70 on Saturday that cut his lead down to 4. And I really, this is such a vivid memory, I guess, for me. This was like a time period where I think both Rory and Spieth were like, I knew exactly what time they were teeing off every day, and I was going to find my way in front of a television to watch essentially every shot of that because it was a complete thrill ride. But do you remember who was teeing off 20 minutes earlier than Jordan Spieth on that Sunday at the 2015 Masters?
Jack Nicklaus.
No, that's an interesting guess.
Didn't he had like a late
in 98, not in 2015. I think he was an honorary starter by then.
Oh.
I mean, he wears red on the Sundays. I mean,
the cat
was in the group 2 in front of Jordan on that day. And remember, 2015 was the year that he shot 82 in Phoenix and didn't play at all between Phoenix and the Masters. It was kind of a late addition. He shot 68, 69 on Friday, entered the final round tied for 5th. Now, he was 10 back of Spieth, but he's only 6 back of 2nd. And like he, in 2011, when Rory had his big lead and Rory collapsed, Tiger was tied, didn't even make it to the turn and was tied for the lead at one point. So it was like not out of the question that Tiger was going to make a little run in that time period. It didn't happen. Do you remember who Tiger played with on that Sunday?
Anthony Kim.
Kyle Stanley.
Rory. Tiger was paired with Rory at the 2015 Masters. So there's this image of the final 6 guys on the tee sheet on this day, warming up on the range. And it is, I mean, it's freaking epic. It goes Jordan at the top. He's warming up next to Tiger. The next person on there is Rory. Or I'm sorry, who is the next person on there? The image is kind of small. It's Justin Rose. Sorry, it's Justin Rose who's playing with Jordan Spieth. Then it's Phil. Phil was in the group in front, and Phil started the day only 5 shots back. Then it's Rory. Of course, Charlie Hoffman is up there. He made it all the way to Sunday in this particular year.
He had to have been one of the, close to the first round lead, right?
I think he shot 67 in the opening round. He was in second place behind Jordan. And this shot is just crazy. Like Jordan and Tiger are like talking on the range during warm up. I actually reached out to Jordan because there's this video and like it looks like Tiger's describing. He says something like top right pin up tee, which makes me think that they were talking about the 6th hole for whatever reason. I asked him if he remembered what they talked about on the range. He said he did not remember that conversation, but I found it interesting that Tiger was like chatting with the leader of the tournament and almost looked like he was giving him advice. But
I don't recall, Your Honor.
Leading up into this again, Spieth won the Hero in December by 10 shots. He won the Valspar in an epic playoff over Reed and Sean O'Hare. He finished 2nd at Valero and then 2nd at Houston. And he came in at only 10-1 at 21 years old behind Rory. And Rory had just won the prior 2 majors. And this was Rory's first attempt at the career Grand Slam. I mean, we've seen him go through a 10 of those attempts now, but and Jordan obviously would go to win the next 2 majors to the point where Rory and Jordan held all the majors. They were both under the age of 26 and held all 4 of golf's majors. But I mean, Spieth just comes out and like Rose birdies the first hole, but Spieth birdies it right on top of him. He makes a sick birdie putt on 3. Bogeys 5 and 7, and Rose gets within 3 at some point, but he never got closer than that. He birdied 8 and 10. He got up by 6. He was the first to ever get to 19 under at Augusta. Had an 8-foot putt on the last. I don't remember this, but an 8-foot putt for the scoring record on 18. that he missed to fall back to 18 under to tie Tiger's scoring record at the same age that he set it, age 21. So just reliving that was like man, we are justified in like being bananas about rooting for this guy. But also noted in there, since that Masters, there's been 5 holes that have been lengthened. Do you know what the 5 holes that have been lengthened since the 2015?
2.
That's correct.
5.
Correct.
13.
Correct.
15.
Correct.
And 2, 5, 15, 11.
Correct. 5 for 5.
That's cooking.
Well done.
Yeah.
Now, a little deeper on trivia. There's been 4 holes that have not been lengthened since 1999. Can you name the 4 holes?
12.
Correct.
3.
Correct. Let him cook.
Since 1999. 16.
Correct. Final one, TC for 9 for 9.
Since 1999. I will say 9.
It's 6.
6.
has not been.
Okay. There's really nowhere to go back there.
That was impressive. So the first hole has gone from 410 to 445. 2 has gone from 575 to 585. This is again between 99 and 2025. Number 3 has been 350 the whole time. 4 went from 205 to 240. 5 went from 435 to 495. 6 has been at 180. 7 went from 365 to 450. 8 from 550 to 570. 9, 430 to 460. 10, 485 to 495. 11, 455 to 520. 12, 155 the whole time. 13, 485 to 545. 14, 405 to 440. 15, 500 to 550. 16 has been 170. 17, 425 to 440. And 18, 405 to 465. That's an increase from 69.85 to 75.55. A total increase of 570 yards over 26 years.
I think some of them are good. Like and it's just a matter of they've done that and they've also added in trees and spots and more long grass and spots. I just think I just struggle a lot with 7 in particular. I think 7 could be such a cool hole if it's like a little half shot par 4. Like, to your point, Solly, on some of those 100-yard shots, those 125-yard shots, like getting guys to, like that. I don't know. It's just so out of balance with what that hole should be, I think.
I completely agree with you there. I don't really have a great answer for what they could or should do, because I think just with so much information now and the technology the way that it is, if you took the trees out and made it short again, everybody would just bomb it up near there and flip it onto the green.
Yeah.
And
but it's such a severe green, and like I think almost having spin control be part of the equation there.
In the 90s, yeah. I mean, that made perfect sense. It just nowadays, it just kind of seems like you can kind of do whatever you want with it. So,
which again, I think three's still a brilliant hole. I think 3's still one of the best holes on the golf course. I think 4 is like when you look at some of the old, old photos of 4 green, you're like, oh man, like that looks so much freaking cooler than it does now.
Yeah, as always, technology more to blame here than the folks that have to react to it. But
new superintendent this year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
interesting.
So,
all right, last bit we have for today. Again, we're saving our picks for the Wednesday happy hour, but we did ask our wives for what their picks were, their reaction, their take, whatever it might be. I think we're gonna have Neil's wife Carson is going to be up first. For spousal predictions, I believe we have some graphics from Mr. Cody as well.
Yes, that's right. So let's start with Carson first. Of course, beautiful boy Ludwig.
She is taking Ludwig.
Ludwig gets the ladies going.
The next one is coming from the Schuster household, the other Schusters down south. And typical TC fashion, Alex submitted 2 picks. Her first initial thought was
she said,
Ludwig.
And then I want Ludwig to win, but I think Rory is going to win.
Well, there you go. You had it. 2 going down the leaderboard, just like her guy. Next, big. Who did Miss Cat go with?
Yeah, I had to pin her down on just one pick. She was kind of the same boat. She wants Max Homa to win, but she's settling for Rory, actually.
A
Wow.
lot of Rory love. Next, Solly. Who did Hannah go with?
I think her only pick was someone unexpected.
That is correct.
that is
Someone
the-
unexpected.
Billy
is-
Horschel, perhaps?
I think that would qualify.
is
So
who she went with.
She's covered the board.
I interrupted a very important business call to get Yari's pick, and she said that guy from Dallas, Scotty Scheffler.
Your
Tom
guy-
Kim?
That
There
guy,
you go.
The guy that's killing it.
Sung Jae?
If she would have said the
Oh, no,
Texan,
Sungjae
I
lives in
would've gone.
Atlanta.
True.
Oh, he
Randy.
moved, didn't he? Yeah, that's right. Or maybe
you
it was
have
never
it.
Dallas. Yeah.
Did we get a Steen pick from DJ? And then DJ's battling
No,
some
he's-
illness. Yeah, I think he's fighting for his life right now. So
Justine picked a player to be named later.
anything we missed before we kick off the week?
Who do you guys think the low AM will be? This feels like
now-
the weakest crop of AMs at the Masters in a long time. I think it's Ballister, and then there's a clear drop after him. He's kind of in a class of his own.
I haven't done my research on that one yet, TC. So I'll go with that.
Okay.
I was saving that one for
Randy, I know you're a big proponent of the amateur game.
You know, I was looking TC, and I got to be honest, none of them were getting me excited. So
Yeah.
I'm abstaining.
So
I,
all right.
I think they're all going to miss the cut. How about that for a prediction?
All right, that is going to wrap our official Masters preview. Thank you for all 2,700 of you that are watching this live on the No Laying Up Podcast YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that if you are a listener in your car on a different app. It's always great to pop in throughout the day and just catch the video parts of it as well. Cody does a great job on graphics and images, and it helps bring a lot to the show. And we are going to be back on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time with our happy hour show, going through some of the news items of the week, reactions to press conferences, any updates, any updates to the field or anything like that, making our official picks, diving in even deeper in the odds, some top 20s, all the fun first round leader, all that stuff is going to be on Wednesday. Then, of course, we are live at the end of every round of play on YouTube and on the X app, the Everything app, right after near the conclusion of play. Usually when TV is wrapping up, we go live and chat about the day, do a bunch of fun graphics and all that stuff. So anything else I'm missing?
Neil sent me a long shopping list of stuff I got to get for the block party. So I'm going to be put to work until Wednesday afternoon, but I'm excited.
What kind of stuff? What's on the menu?
Oh, he this is initially he's like, hey, you got to go to Costco, get some paper plates and cups and things like that. So we're in prep mode right now, TC.
Okay.
I got a lot of thinking and about
Cost of
life.
brick is going up.
TC, Solly, what's the plan? Are you just posting up over that big old tree, or are you going to walk the course again?
I'm gonna do a little bit of everything. Walk the course. I didn't get to walk the front nine. We'll try to get some eyes on some practice round stuff. I'll be doing some tree standing as well. Thanks to everybody that comes up and says hello. It's always nobody's on their phone, so everybody's eyes are up, and it's always everybody's always so happy out there and just has big smiles on their face, and it's always nice to meet a bunch of people. So if you do happen to run into myself or Neil or Kevin, make sure you say hello. We appreciate the support from everyone. But tomorrow's my freest day to go run around and see as much as possible and experience all the sappiness and all the wonder of Augusta, because it really is still just sick to walk around the place and watch dudes hit shots out there, even if it is just a practice round. So thanks everyone again for tuning in live. Cody, thanks for running the ones and twos. Shout out to our friends at FanDuel, AT&T, and Rhoback. We cannot wait to bring the content this week, and thanks for your support. We'll see you back here soon. Cheers.
Crack on. Woof, woof.